right, so we have a 75-year-old man with a long-standing history of constipation who presents complaining of abdominal pain for the last 2 days. He is now experiencing abdominal distension, constipation, and inability to pass gas for the last 12 hours. On exam, his abdomen is distended and tympanitic to percussion. You obtain an upright abdominal X-ray as seen above. What is the most likely diagnosis? All right, so our answer choices are A, Sequal Volvulus, B, Intussusception, C, Irritable Bowel Syndrome, and D, Sigmoid Volvulus. This is a really good question. It is a high likelihood question to appear on a board exam. So let's go through it. If we look at the question itself, it's rather straightforward, and we're asked to make the most likely diagnosis here, right? Because clinically, a patient like this comes in, we may not have a definitive diagnosis, let's say in the emergency department, but for our board exam, we're given enough information that we can make the most likely diagnosis, and that's what's important here. So let's go through answer choices. A, Sequal Volvulus. So Sequal Volvulus certainly is associated with abdominal distension, abdominal pain, paucity of gas in the distal colon, and an X-ray that may look similar to what we see here. Now, for those of you that cannot see the X-ray, what we're seeing is large bowel that is significantly distended, and it has almost like a bent inner tube appearance. Okay. Now, a Sequal Volvulus, the classic X-ray finding, is something closer to a coffee bean appearance of the colon or the cecum, or a comma appearance. And that's not what we see here. Sometimes you could confuse the appearances here, but this is definitely more of a bent inner tube type appearance, and that's important to know. So we're going to cross out answer choice A, Sequal Volvulus here. And just one thing to note is the patient is 75 years old, right? And that makes me start thinking about what the answer choice is here when we combine that with abdominal distension and constipation and this X-ray. And we'll see why that's important shortly. Answer choice B, Intussusception. Well, Intussusception is really, at least on the boards, it's going to be a disease process of children. So let's cross that out. It is, of course, it's possible in adults, but very uncommon. Then we have irritable bowel syndrome. Well, that's more of a condition that's associated with chronic alterations of bowel habits. You could certainly have abdominal pain. You could have diarrhea and constipation. A 75-year-old gentleman who has this X-ray with abdominal distension and constipation for a short-term onset, right? Lasts 12 hours. On the board exam, we're given that this is an acute process, okay? If we have an acute process, last 12 hours here. So we're certainly not going to select irritable bowel syndrome as an answer choice because that's only a chronic process. So that leaves us with sigmoid volvulus. And whenever I think about sigmoid volvulus, I think about older people who are maybe nursing home patients. They may be bedbound and associated with chronic constipation. And you see X-rays that look like this. The sigmoid colon kind of twists on the mesentery, and you get this bent inner tube appearance. So I'm going to go with answer choice D, sigmoid volvulus, and sure enough, that is correct. Hey everyone, before you go, if you're interested in your own QBank, whether you are an MD or DO, a PA, or an MP, simply go to RoshReview.com and sign up for a free trial. See if Rosh Review's content is right for you. Keep learning, keep working hard, and always have a sense of mission about your work. Now is your time. This is Dr. Adam Rosh signing off.